Okay guys, this is Bloodbath. This is my first commentary video. Um, so not too long ago my friend let me borrow his account and get a game off of him. And it is called Death Smiles. Really good game. I'll back out so you guys can see the main menu real quick. Terrific game. It's a really good shoot 'em up, strictly Japanese. A lot of the menu options are in English though. All the dialogue is in Japanese. Unfortunately, you can't understand a word they're saying. Um, but yeah, some of the achievements are pretty difficult as far as score. That's why I'm here today. I'm going to show you how to get the 6 billion achievement. First off, I will show you. It needs to be in 2x mode, and your options, best preferred at 5 lives, 5 bombs, and then enemy and bullet damage at 0. 100 million points get you an extra life, and continues off. I keep continues off because it kind of speeds things up, and you don't really need continues when you're going for score because it's kind of pointless. Like I said, this is my first time doing a commentary, and I don't really know what to say too much, so kind of bear with me. I'm using a digital camera. The audio might be a little I hope everything's, goes well, because I don't want to do this like 5 times. But yeah, I'm gonna start up the replay because it's kind of hard to show live gameplay while you're doing commentary. But yeah, if you pretty much just stick to with what I show, you should have no problem. As you've seen, I picked Full A. She is a very good character, in my opinion. A lot of people prefer her as well. She is a pretty high damage character and very easy to handle. I'm going to kind of get ahead of myself here. You'll notice your familiar or Tsukaima, if you played the game before, you want your Tsukaima to do a lot of the work. Yes, this is my replay, I promise you that, but you want your Tsukaima to do a lot of the work, to do a lot of the hits, because you get a lot of items from your Tsukaima doing that damage. Some people refer to it as the familiar. I just like calling it Tsukaima. I think it sounds badass. But, yeah, as you see, you pretty much want him to get a lot of points. And that counter on the bottom left, once that hits at least 5,000, I prefer 10,000, you pop that X button on default controls, and the points start rolling in. You start hitting enemies, and points start flowing. Sorry for me adjusting the volume, but the points just start rolling in. All those items, it gets a little laggy, but it's nice. Yeah, the blue bullets that come off of enemies, I find it best to round them up. Don't get too many because then they'll start canceling out, but round them up, and when you get enough around you, pop that X button again with a lock shot. Don't hold it in, just do it quick so you don't waste your lock shot energy. And as you see, you pop a lot of items. It's quite nice. But a lot of people, sorry if I say like things a lot, I tend to repeat things. But as far as bosses, there is 2 achievements for defeating an enemy and getting killed by an enemy. Called Jitterbug. You have to defeat every enemy, well, every boss, sorry, with a lock shot to trigger him. And when you do that, you'll trigger him after the Satan Claws boss battle. There is an achievement for killing him, which is fairly easy, and an achievement for getting killed by him, which I warn you, if you have your enemy damage and all that set to low, it will be really hard to get killed by him, because you pretty much have to drop your health all the way down during the Satan Claws battle just to get killed by him in the battle, because when you get the cake from Satan Claws, it restores your health and all that, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to get hit and hit and hit, and if you don't get killed by him soon enough, the boss automatically dies, so you can't get the achievement. Yeah, if you haven't triggered at least over 4 billion points by the end of the first level, you might want to just restart. Level order, a lot of people have their own preference. I personally just go in order or randomly pick whatever. But you want to make sure you have that counter on the bottom left. You want to make sure that you have at least 7,000, I'd say, in my opinion. Because when you start the next level, you want to be getting those points right off the bat like this. If you don't have your counter up that high, you're gonna struggle. And it's kind of self-explanatory. I keep my Tukama angled like in front of me but above me, so he's getting direct shots of everything I move up on. Bigger enemies is obviously, more points. So if you can drain them, you'll see like a gargoyle thing here in a little bit, like that. Like those bigger enemies, if you can lock on them for a while, you will drain a lot of points off of them. Every bit counts. When you got your counter up high enough and you get those little kind of yellow seed looking bullets, some people call them sperm bullets with the blue around them, those are nice because if you get a bunch of those on the screen, I prefer using the rapid fire thing to kill enemies to get more of those, and then you pop your multiplier and it's crazy. I'll be honest, I do like to talk a lot. I can't really help that, especially when it's something this exciting. I've been working at this achievement for the past few days, and I finally got it. So I figured I'd share my experience with you guys. If anyone's having trouble with it, feel free to ask questions. I'm all for it. I love helping people out with stuff like this. It's a good game. It's only $20 on the marketplace. If you can find it at a store, you'd be lucky. But it's worth it. It's definitely a great game. Now, when it comes to bosses, you'll notice I don't really care too much about getting points from them. I care about building up my gauge. When I build up my gauge, that makes me good for the next level. Unfortunately, that level I didn't finish with a high gauge, but the Field C, you kind of get a good chance to build that up really quick. You'll see right here the whole blue, the sperm pellet people refer to as. I like to get a lot of those, like I referenced to before, and then you pop that multiplier. And then a lot of people don't know this, but these rocks here in Field C give you a lot of points. If you keep your Tukama firing at that thing, you get a lot of points. And it seems when you have the blue ones following you, the blue bullets, it kind of slows the game down a little bit. So take advantage of that. Don't pop your lock shot right away. Just take advantage of getting those points. They just pour in. And as you see, I am about to hit 1 billion. Pretty good progress for the third level. You shouldn't have too many problems, for this. If you dodge bullets and pay attention, that's the thing. Getting down where enemies come from, when they do, and how to approach them and get points. I mean, it's very simple. It's just like any other shoot 'em up. You get used to how things work, like any other game actually, and you just roll with it. But yeah, I'm not too sure how my camera's gonna let me do this. I might have to do the video in a couple different parts. Not sure yet, but pretty good so far. Yeah. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Some people are very intimidated by this game because of all the things going on, at the same time on the screen, all these bullets and enemies. Don't be intimidated. Give it a shot. If you can, rent it. I mean, I'm sure Gamefly carries it. If you have Gamefly, it's a great service. I personally don't have it. but it is a great service. And yeah, and a lot of you guys, if you don't know, the one snake that comes up right there, as you just seen, if you finish him off with a lock shot, you get a life up item, which is really useful because, I mean, who doesn't like extra lives? I mean, come on. But, yeah, I say but a lot. I really hope the audio is okay. But yeah, if I were to give a rating on a scale of 10 being the best, I would give this game probably like a 7.5. It's relatively short, but it does have a lot of replay value. It's like any other score-based game. You work and work and work for that high score. It's really, you know, addictive. Not to mention there's like 6 characters in the game. So, you know, you just keep working and working. I have no idea who that is, but he just made my video. But, yeah, coming up on this level, this is probably one of my favorites as far as score because towards the last 2/3, like this whole first part of the level is mainly just getting your stuff up. But the rest of the level is points like crazy. I find it to be one of the highest point scoring levels for me up until the second to last level. Yeah, like the bulls, like on the bottom right, the Minotaur, they drop a lot of items if you hit them with a Tucano pretty well. At this part, the skulls start like flooding in, so I stick to the back corner and just shoot the shit out of anything on the left side of the screen and pick off the chandeliers as I move back. It's pretty useful. It's not the best tactic, but it's really useful in my opinion. And as you just seen, that's a lot of items. We're coming up on the part I was talking about. When you get your gauge up high enough, this part becomes really, really good for points. Like those two, I don't know what you want to call them, but the armored knights that like to laugh when they appear are very good for points as well and getting your gauge up. And this is where the points start flooding, so enjoy the massive blue background. Kind of weird thing about doing like my first commentary, I would pick a full playthrough of a game to do, which is really awkward because I run out of things to say, so I guess all I can really do is talk about what you're seeing. As I mentioned, the points are just flying in. And by now, if your score is anywhere, I'd say about 200 million under what I have, you might want to just restart from the very beginning. I know it sounds like a hassle, but it's better than playing through the whole game to find out that you didn't get it. I learned that from experience. And just so you guys know, that 6 billion has to be popped before the Satan Claws battle. If you don't have 6 billion when you trigger that boss fight, you're not going to get the achievement. It has to be before that battle, I'm pretty sure. Not confirmed, but I had over 6 bill before at the battle, and I didn't get it. So, yeah. As you see, my prior score is like 5.9 billion. I came very close to getting the achievement, but I didn't. But this is actually a really funny boss. I don't know what's so funny about it, but maybe it's the fact that he says "mrrr," like. Excuse my awkward imitation, but it's pretty funny. If you pop your gauge, I mean, it's nice to do it during boss battles sometimes because you get a good bit of points. But remember, you're probably going to do a lot of damage to them, and you don't have enough time left over to build your gauge back up. So make sure you pick your time if you're going to milk points from bosses, because it's very, very risky. Um, I personally wait until he's about halfway. If your gauge is still running and he's low on health, just pop a bomb with the Y button on default settings, and it will pretty much run out your gauge, so you can start building it back up again. It will do damage to him, so be aware of that. But just lay low, dodge bullets. I mean, that's the best advice I could give. It works very, very well. And he's down. I didn't really give him too many chances to sound funny. Not sure if you can hear the game audio. I'm trying to make it so the game's not over my voice. But yeah, kind of getting by until I can grab a capture card and get all this stuff going. I really look forward to making, really nicely edited things like montages and all that. If you guys haven't checked out my Call of Duty videos, you should definitely do that. I'm not the best person in the world at that, nor this, but I am proud of what I do, and I like to share that with people. I know some people just don't like enjoying. Some people enjoy watching other people play. As do I. I grew up doing that, but I'm not the greatest person in the world at this game. There's people that I've seen people pop 15 billion, and that's ridiculous. I mean, mad props to those people. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy with what I've done and proud of it. I think I'm only missing. I'll show you at the end of the video. I'm only missing a few achievements for this game. I have like 920 gamer score, I think. But yeah. Like I've said before, if you don't have at least around the score that I have, you might want to restart. Right now I have about 2.9 billion. So that's about where you want to be at this point. I don't know, I find myself, other than working for the achievements for this game, it's very addicting. This is an interesting boss. He manages to get some hits in when you don't want him to, but other than that, he goes decently fast. Builds some pretty good gauge off him. Just watch out for the bullets, like I said before. Like that. Good example of why you need to dodge. Also, a lot of you guys, I don't know if you know this, but when you actually lose a life, it resets that gauge on the bottom left. Yeah. It's kind of a pain in the butt because then you gotta rework on getting it built back up and all that. Kind of a pain. And another boss down. For those of you who have like looked at the achievement guides, some of them are a little hard to understand. Obviously, because the achievements are Japanese, so it's really hard to understand what's being said. But I'm coming up on 3 billion. If you're not at least at that mark, consider restarting. I think I finished the game I want to say 6.2 billion. I don't remember. I stayed up pretty late last night doing this and finally got it. But yeah, all in all, this game's pretty good. I mean, it's repetitive if you consider shooting and shooting and shooting repetitive. I mean, it is, but I don't know. It's kind of a oddly humorous game. I mean, I find myself laughing at the stupidest things sometimes, but this game kind of supports that. I For those of you who've watched my videos before, it's all Call of Duty. I know that's like my shooter. Um, I don't want hate mail. I've got some before. Haters are gonna hate, but a lot of shooters have a lot of things I like. Call of Duty is the one I got this year. I usually get them every year. Looking forward to getting Gears and Battlefield down the road. But as far as games, I'm a huge Call of Duty and Resident Evil fan. People kind of jump in Resident Evil at the 4th or 5th game, and it's kind of funny. Leon's the best character. He is a very good character, but people just overrate him, and they need to play the old games before they judge. Because personally, Jill Valentine is a sexy beast. Yes, I just said that. But yeah. Other than that, Silent Hill, Parasite Eve, I grew up playing some really kind of under the radar games at that time, but nowadays Resident Evil's flown out the window. I love 4 and 5. 4 is very addictive for me. I actually placed fairly high in the leaderboards on the Xbox Games on Demand version. I beat the game in like 2 hours and 35 minutes on professional speedrun. But I prefer the old games. They're really nice. Like Zero and the remake of the first one for the GameCube is where I think they should have kept it. The beta for Resident Evil 4 was really good. I don't know why they didn't keep it. It had a lot of potential, but Capcom didn't feel, confident with how it was turning out, so they scrapped it and completely redid it. Just like Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 turned out to be a very good game, but I would have liked to see what the original version would have been like, My favorite of all time, the remake of the game, like the first one on the GameCube, is very good, but Director's Cut, the Director's Cut version of the first one is by far my favorite. I was doing hour or so speed runs on advanced mode, at the age of like 10, and I respect my parents. They really talk to me and about video games and stuff, and they're very focused in making sure that I was mature enough to handle that stuff. And the cool thing is, I was. Resident Evil doesn't scare me anymore. I mean, the old ones still kind of give me the chills, but I matured very, very young as far as handling violent video games, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm just a little under 4 billion here. Pretty decent score. If you're, like I said before, if you're not up to this, you might want to restart. As you see, I got the counter full right at the end of the boss battle. Kept it up. Pretty important. But yeah, other than that, I want to get a capture card. I want to start doing more videos. I've always wanted to do commentary because I like getting out there. I like, interacting with people, whether it be in person, Xbox Live, or, responses and questions, comments on anything. YouTube, Xbox, whatever. I am, in fact, an achievement hunter, if you haven't, noticed by me going for this. I am coming up on 80,000 gamer score. I plan on hitting that before New Year's. I almost have this maxed out in Modern Warfare 3. Um, I can't not max out Modern Warfare 3. I maxed out Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Maxed out Black Ops before they released the first DLC. Uh, I have all the achievements on the retail version of World War, uh, except for the 5th Prestige achievement, which I didn't get into the multiplayer as much as I should have. I played it, I loved it, but it just fell short compared to Modern Warfare. I love the World War II shooters that Treyarch puts out. A lot of people bash, the other company, whatever, this, that. I respect both sides of the game. It's really good. And I think Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward did a great job with Modern Warfare 3. For those of you who haven't played it, it is extremely balanced. The only problem I have with the game is the Type 95 can be annoying at times. It's one of those guns that everybody just jumps the gun on. No pun intended. But it's a really good gun. I'm not going to lie. But then again, guns kill people, so... well, people with guns kill people. But, that's just how it is. So, I learned to deal with it. I die. Move on. Just keep playing. Some people overreact way too much to dying in games. It's a little ridiculous sometimes. And that never gets old, seeing all those items flow in like that. It's a hell of a lot of points. And I'm coming up on 5 billion, too. That's quite a bit. There's a lot of good enemies coming up that will milk more points. I'm already getting my counter back up. I'm pretty sure I pop it right here, too. Yeah, I started getting more of these blue pellets, and then I think I pop it. Yep, there it is. The replay mode is really nice in this game. It's good to upload top leaderboard videos, so you can kind of see how people work, but for those of you who have done that already, you know what I mean. The top ranked people are ridiculous at this game. I'm not putting this out there to say I'm better than anyone. I just figured I'd show off this game because this game is really unique, pretty original, and for anyone who needs help on it, As I said before, I apologize. This is my first commentary. I'm not very good with it. I hope the audio is good. But if you guys haven't checked out any of the videos, you definitely should. I'm really into the film editor and the Call of Duty games. Black Ops did it very well. Modern Warfare 3, it's really nice. It's good. The only thing is, like, some of the stuff, it's not as easily accessible as Black Ops' theater mode was, but they still did a hell of a job putting it out there. And sometimes in the videos, you'll notice your character looks like a bot from combat training in Black Ops. They'll do some really wicked stuff, but I don't know, it's pretty nice. Yeah, if you're not where I'm at in score, I'm at 5 billion, roughly 800 million right now. You might just want to stop because this is the last chance you have to get any other points before the boss fight. And if you don't get those points now, you're not going to get the achievement. These snakes are very good to milk points off of. Do not shoot them with your beam. Let your Tukaima do all the work. The reason I like Follet is because the dragon kind of has this nice steady flame. Like other characters, it's kind of a burst shot, but it's a steady flame, so it's constantly hitting them, milking points. And I just came up on 5,900,000,000. And it's rolling on up, and 6 billion pop. I did unlock the achievement right there. I was pretty excited. I actually think I start screwing around here in a little bit, like I'll start dancing. I don't know. Maybe it's the end of the video, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a very exciting achievement to get because it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. Before I started to get really good at knowing like where enemies were and how to take care of them, I was averaging anywhere between 2.7 billion to 3.9 billion. Uh, Pretty nice. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but the high score ticker on the top right is going with the top left, meaning that that is my highest score. You notice I tend to ignore a lot of the stuff that Satan Claus just throws out. That's because I got really excited. I already had the achievement. I still have 4 lives. So I just pop bombs to get rid of his bullets. Kind of a screw you to him. Um, but yeah, if you haven't already hit 6 billion before the boss fight, I mean, if you're close, congrats. It's very hard to get up there. Uh, but you know, it's quite a thing to be proud of, you know. And a lot of people don't realize too, when there's a lot of bullets in the air, when you pop that multiplier, uh, those turn into items too. So it's very important. I mean, any score from here out is just adding to it. Doesn't matter for achievements, but it's still there. But I think the only achievements I'm missing is viewing all endings with all characters, beating the game using only left trigger, right trigger, and Y, um, getting killed by Pigeon Blood Jitterbug, and the one for holding your combo in a range mode for more than 60 seconds on a boss. So, you know, they're not too hard. The 60-second one might be a little challenging, but you know, it's not going to be too bad. I'm looking forward to maxing this game out. It was definitely worth it. And if you guys haven't already, please rate, comment, subscribe, whatever. Send me a friend request, whatever. It's fine with me. Figured I'd show you guys this a little bit. My wonderful collection of Gamerscore here. As I said, I'm close to maxing out these 2 games. Pretty proud of that. And for those of you who haven't seen the list yet, this is what the achievements are like for Death Smiles. Pretty crazy. Some of the pictures are a little off. But 4 achievements left. Pretty nice. I figured I'll throw this in the video as well because I'm proud of this as well. Yeah, excuse me. I'm proud of this as well because, as I said, I'm an achievement hunter. I really go for it. I've had my account for over 4 years, and I do not regret any of it. Holding down right bumper, scrolling through my game list as fast as possible, it takes a little while. I counted, I think, 200. So, 200 games played, arcade, retail. It's a lot of games, you know. It's pretty nice. And then I want to show this off too. Total gamer score 76,620. Total possible 155,700. Achievements unlocked 3,807. Possible 7,011. 29 games maxed out. I've maxed out Resident Evil 4, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Fable 2 pub games, FIFA 06, Tekken 6, Battlefield 1943, Worms, Darksiders, Dead Space, Fight Night Round 3, Harm's Way, Galaga, Carcassonne, Fallout 3. That was a very fun game to max out. Dead Rising 2 Case West, Xbox Live Labs. I won't really count that because you just leave your console running. Splinter Cell Conviction, Death Spank, yes, that's a funny name. Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, Zombie Apocalypse, Spyglass Board Games, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Really fun game to max out. Uno, Dash of Destruction, Alone in the Dark, Avatar, that's an easy 1000 for those of you who haven't discovered it. King Kong, same thing there. And 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. But thanks to you for watching. Like I said, rate, subscribe, comment, like, whatever. Uh, I'll do the same. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.